at solving radical equations. All right, the first few are very, very simple. Okay, we've got the square root of 8n plus 8 is equal to the square root of 8 minus 9n. Well, what do you think we need to do here? Okay, there's two ways of looking at it. They're both under a square root. So the only way these are going to be equal to each other is if what's under the square root is equal to each other. So you could just look at it as the square roots disappear, so to speak. But mathematically speaking, really what's going on here is to get rid of a square root, you square both sides. And so when we square a square root, we're just left with what's under the square root. So in this case, 8n plus 8 is equal to 8 minus 9n. And then it's just a linear equation. Okay, we need to solve this, so get the variable on one side. Personally, I like to move it so that I don't have negatives, so I'm going to add the 9n. So I've got 17n, so that means I'm going to subtract the 8 from both sides. So 8 minus 8 is 0, so that must mean that n equals 0. And you can check it. Just plug it back into the original. 8 times 0 is 0, so I've got the square root of 8 on the left side. 9 times 0 is 0, so I got the square root of 8 on the right side. So n equals 0. Okay? Yes, you good? Okay, so B, similar. Okay, both of those are under a square root. So to get rid of the square root, we square the square root. So it cancels, so we've got v minus 1 is equal to 21 minus v. Be careful with this. A lot of people will look at that and say that the v's disappear, but no, they really don't. You add v to both sides, so we've got 2v, and so I add 1. 2v is equal to 22, and then divide both sides by 2. v equals 11. No reason not to check it. Left side, 11 minus 1 is 10. So we've got the square root of 10 on the left side. 21 minus 11 is 10. So we've got the square root of 10 on the right side. Okay, now, say one side doesn't have a square root. No big deal. Same process. To get rid of a square root, we square both sides. It's just this time, we're actually going to physically square the 11 and get 121. Okay, then we add 1 to both sides, so that's 122 is equal to 61v, and how nice, 122 is evenly divisible by 61, and that gives us 2. Again, no reason not to check it. 2 times 61 is 122, minus 1 is 121, the square root of 121 is 11. All right, now D. Similar idea, but before we square both sides, we've got to isolate the square root. So what I mean by that is we've got to divide both sides by -8 first before we can square both sides. So then we square both sides. 20v equals 100. Make sure you actually square it. So v equals 5. Again, no reason not to check it. Plug it back in. 20 times 5 is 100. Square root of 100 is 10. -8 times 10 is -80. Okay? So v equals 5 right here. Something I was going to mention when we do this, when we did this problem, when you get to the square root part, say that was not a -8 right there. Say that this was -20v is equal to -10. Okay, that wasn't a -8; it was a +8. Can a square root be equal to a negative number? No. Okay, a square root cannot be equal to a negative number. So this one right here would have no solution. Okay, this would have no solution to this one if that were equal to -10. Okay? If it were equal to -10. but it's not. But I just wanted to mention that. Okay? I know you love it when